What's good, family? It's your boy Just Blaze, host of the best NBA pod in the game, Above the Rim. Keep it locked each week and join myself and a special guest as we tackle the latest rumblings in the league. If it's happening in the NBA, you know I got you covered. Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and leave that 5-star review. Let's get it.
James to stay in Cleveland with you.
Man, LeBron, let's do it. Let's do it. I see you need a few pieces, that one extra piece this past season. Hey, let's do it. Let's go back to the finals. Let's do it.
Okay, LeBron. Oh, man. Look at this camera.
Leave that man alone.
Since you're going to have some free time once the playoffs start,
He's not coming now.
I got a seat for you. The first weekend of the playoffs, you can stay. We'll put you up at a good hotel.
Oh, wow. That's really attractive.
We'll get you a first
Stay
class.
with you at the Four Seasons?
Yes, we'll get you a first-class ticket. We want you, because we always bring players in for the playoffs. You're not going to be busy during the playoffs, so I'm inviting you here.
Do you smell what I smell? Do you smell what I smell? I smell victory. LeBron James, who? LeBron James, who?
Talk about it.
You are now tuned in to Above the Rim.
Welcome, family, to another edition of Above the Rim, episode 87. Brought to you, as always, by your honorable host. It's your boy Justin, a.k.a. Just Blaze. And joining me this week, making another return, friend of the show, Damo. What's up, my brother?
What's up, man? I'm rubbing my hands together for this episode.
This episode's right up your alley, man. And also, we got another repeated offender. Y'all are all familiar with him. My man, Fleazy. My man, Fred. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Just? You know, I'm ready to bring the heat.
Bring the heat. Resident Lakers fan we got here. And resident LeBron.
Come on, don't put me on blast like that, man. I just spit the facts, man.
Talk about it. Spitting the facts.
Y'all just now catching on. I've been on.
Oh, okay. La Smoke.
Coming in spicy.
As always, family, you can find Above the Rim anywhere you listen to podcasts, whether that be iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Spotify, YouTube, lineups.com as well. To get in contact with your boy, you can always hit me up and follow me on Twitter at JustBlaze_513. That's JUSBLAZE_513. IG is JustBlaze513. And on Facebook, search Above the Rim Podcast. Email the show as well, Above the Rim NBA Podcast at gmail.com. Call up the Talk About It line. You already know if you got any feedback, questions, comments to the show, you want to spar with some of my guests, shit talking, any of that, leave a voicemail, 908-718-1592. And Fred, tell the family where they can find you, brother.
Twitter, Fleazy for real. Instagram, Fleazy for real. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Go find that man. And family, so as you can tell by the title and the intro of this episode, LeFail.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be talking a lot about my man LeBron James. We're going to be discussing a lot of LeBron James here tonight because there's too much going on with your Lakers, Fred, a resident Lakers fan. And
those my Lakers, but that's your man's.
no, that's not my man's at all. So, but first, man, let's talk about the highly competitive MVP race going on right there. But before we get into that, the homie BTG, resident Californian, LA from the West Coast, called in. So let's give his views on this MVP race.
Above the Rim, what up? It's your boy BTG over here on the West Coast, the left coast, the best coast. Haven't called in a while, but I'm back. I want to speak on the MVP race and the Rookie of the Year race, and I'm going to say both categories are extremely close. The good thing about the great thing about the MVP race this year is that it's a three-headed monster. PG did fall off a little bit because he missed a couple of games. I still got Harden number one, you know what I'm saying? And I think that stretch where he was just fucking shit up, I got to give that to him. Now, Guinness being, holding down his own franchise and being number one in the East, that's cool, but it doesn't hold a lot of weight with me. I'm sorry, it just doesn't, because it's still the East. And until the East can show that they can rock with these West boys, I'm not buying it, because actually they weren't even supposed to be there. We're supposed to be talking about Boston. And even with the Bucks having one of the top defenses, they got a nice balance. I got to see them in the playoffs. I got to see them actually perform in the playoffs. And there's no evidence that they'll get it done because they haven't gotten it done. So they're still under investigation. Now, as far as Harden, I still think he's up there. The rest of these games will determine it. And I think that's why it's still close. PG-13 would probably have to go on a tangent to be considered, you know what I'm saying, the head honcho. But I think it's far-fetched. I don't think he's going to get it. I think he's going to go to Harden. I wouldn't be mad if Greek Freak got it, though. I'll go ahead and say that.
Shout out to BTG for that.
Shout out to BTG, man. Giving Giannis a new nickname, calling him Guinness. I wasn't sure that.
Come on, man. Yo,
that was pretty funny.
That was a good one right there. So there's 3 MVP candidates going on. We got Harden, we got Guinness, and we got PG-13. And fellas, it's a tight MVP race. It's looking like it's a 3-headed monster, as BTG said. You got Harden out there averaging 36, 6, and 7.
It's crazy, man.
36, 6, and 7. 2 steals, leading the league in steals, leading the league in deflections. He's having a bomb season. We got Giannis out there, 27, 12, and 6, having numbers that haven't been seen since Wilt. Also domineering numbers. Only team, the Milwaukee Bucks, in top 5 in offense and defense. So with Giannis being the best player on the best team, that might be something. And then we got PG-13 averaging a career high 28, 8 rebounds. Also, I was surprised about with PG-13 and 4 assists. And he's playing some of the best defense that he's played in a long time. So
supposed to be a Laker.
So Fred, I'm gonna start with you. Rank your top 3 MVP candidates in order right now.
In order right now, I gotta give Giannis number 1.
Tell me why.
Because I hear what Bill is saying about the East, but it's like, he's kind of been dominant this year. Like, you got Philly, you got Boston, the Bucks is up there. You got, like,
the number 1 in the league.
Yeah,
Toronto.
They got the number 1 record in the league, so you can't ignore that. And then you got to look at some of the wins the Bucks have had. Like, they went to Oracle and beat the Warriors by 30.
They had some statement wins.
They had some statement wins.
They did.
2, Harden, I'll give it to, if Harden can, the Rockets are 4 games out of first place. If Harden takes the Rockets from 14th to 1, that's crazy. That's crazy. From 14th seed to the first seed overall in the West,
Listen,
I think I might have to give it to him.
We started this season 11-14.
Yeah.
And now we 40-25, I believe, or something like that. 41-25, actually, right now. We're about to be Charlotte tonight, so we're about to be 42-25. Yeah. 3rd seed, you know. So you got Harden number 2, and then you got PG-13 number 3.
36, 6, and 7 is wild.
Damo, what's your top 3 MVP candidates right now?
Man, it's like you said earlier in the show, man. It's a 3-headed monster, and you know me. I'll be casting spells on players, man. When I say a player is garbage or something, they just come back the next year. They start balling out. They start balling hard.
That is true.
PG-13 is like
you
taking my respect.
A lot of shit about PG-13.
I'm not gonna lie, I did too. I was calling him.
Matter of fact, both of y'all.
I was calling him PG-2 for 16 the whole year,
man. All this playoff P and all, that talk. I was coming for his head, man. Man, he showed me a lot this year, but I would say it's him and Harden. I'm gonna put them in the fight for 2, and I gotta put Guinness at 1.
Book of World Records.
Just off the fact that we all know we all thought Boston would be the number 1 team, but the Bucks are. Who would have thought the Bucks would have been the number 1 team in the NBA right now? And like my man said over there, they won some statement games.
They have done some.
So I think this is going to be a year where Giannis gets the MVP. It's going to be one of those years like when Westbrook was averaging a triple-double where he didn't get it. Steph Curry got it because they had the winning record. They was the best team in the NBA. I think that's what's going to happen for Guinness.
Westbrook running over Steph Curry? No, Westbrook running over Harden that year.
No, Harden won it last year. Remember, this will be the 3rd year in a row now that Westbrook is averaging a triple-double.
2nd, I think. Isn't it 2nd?
No, this will be the 3rd. This will be the 3rd year in a row.
I don't think he averaged it the year that Steph won it, because he won it 17, 18, and...
No, listen. Russell Westbrook won the
1 year.
Harden won it last year.
Yeah.
Then Westbrook won it the year before.
Yeah, right.
Steph Curry won it the year before. That would be 3 years.
But I don't think Russell. Well, anyway, but
I could be wrong, but
I understand what you're saying.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Right? I think it's gonna be one of those years where the numbers, because Harden is putting out some
incredible
astronomical numbers.
Yes.
So I think it's gonna be one of those years that he doesn't get it just off the numbers. I think they're gonna reward the winning this year in favor of Guinness.
I hear you two brothers. Fleazy, Damo, I hear y'all.
It's world records for Guinness, man.
Guinness World Records.
I'm not mad at y'all for thinking that, because remember, Damo, you was on the first episode to premiere this season out there with me. I think me, you, and Dennis was on there, and I declared Giannis MVP this year. I said he was gonna win the MVP.
The last 2 years you've been gunning for that.
The last 2 years I've been gunning for that.
We know who you picking, Just.
Huh?
We know who you picking for MVP.
Yeah, come on, man. We know. Listen, you gotta go harder right now. But honestly, a month ago, I was all Giannis. 2 weeks ago, I was all Giannis is my number one pick for MVP. But now, when I think about the totality of the season and how the Houston Rockets season has been such a topsy-turvy kind of season, like when he started that 32 consecutive games of scoring 30 more, we were 11-14 at that point, 10th seed in the conference. Now we 41-25, as we said before, 3rd seed in the West, 2 games behind Denver for 2nd seed, 4 games behind Golden State for the 1st seed. And I think there's been a lot of injuries. CP missed 18 games. Capella missed I think about 15 games, a little bit more than that. Eric Gordon missed about 15 games. We have an entirely new roster than what we put out opening day when we had Michael Carter Williams, James Anderson, those bums over there. So you have to acclimate Lou players. He is a
you don't like 3-and-D Ennis?
I really hate James Anderson.
You know what though? I'm sorry to cut you off, but you know what? I think also with Harden winning the MVP last year, that kind of is like not helping his case. They'll actually be like, oh, well, he got it already.
Okay.
You know what's crazy? Give it to
I'm glad you brought that up, right? Because you know what's crazy? What I wrote down here, I wrote the last 5 back-to-back NBA MVP winners in the last couple of seasons, right? Steph Curry.
LeBron.
He averaged 26, 7, and 4 that year for 2 years, right? LeBron, 26, 6, and 8
and
for those
LeBron
2 years. LeBron again, 29, 7, and 7. And then after that, Steve Nash, 17 and 11 for 2 years. Then after that, we had Tim Duncan, who had 23, 12, and 3.
Wait, you said Steve Nash averaged how much in one MVP?
17, 11, and 3.
Shaq got robbed. See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
So now, but look at those stats that I just put up. Harden now, the last 2 years, he's averaging 33, 8, and 6.
That's nuts.
So why can't he get back-to-back MVPs?
I mean, he can. I think to me, MVP now is not really. It's not what the award says. It's not really the most valuable player. I gotta be honest. It's about whose hype train is running the fastest.
I agree.
And right now, like Giannis' hype train is running the fastest because everybody's saying, well, he's gonna be the next to take the torch from LeBron. I think they trying to declare it. That's gonna make it official if he wins MVP. If he wins MVP and LeBron don't make the playoffs, I mean, come on now. That's you can't even paint a more perfect picture of
I'll be
passing
honest
the
with
torch.
You. I think you got a point right there because I feel like Damo. I feel like the media right now was like starving for another star to supersede LeBron James. So that was a great point that you brought up. So because they're starving to give somebody else the crown, they might push the narrative on the public to get Giannis MVP. And we know who the voters are for MVP. It's those media members, the same guy, the same analyst. So narrative pushes.
Yeah, it's a narrative award.
You know it.
If you can't make a story out of it, they're not going to give you the MVP.
100%.
Like the thing is, remember last season when Kobe was giving out all those challenges to everybody?
Oh yeah.
And
he challenged
Giannis to win MVP. That's the narrative right there.
So before we move on from this, nobody gives no love to Jokic, the Joker.
Come on, man. Definitely. But you said top 3.
So he can't sniff the top 3 is what I'm asking you, in your opinion.
Not just because of the way PG-13 has been balling. You know, I didn't expect. Well, you think
PG-13 is having a better season than Jokic? It's top 3. Damo, talk to me.
You know what? Now, because
I said top 3.
It's only because I put so much hate on PG-13. I ain't expect him to be balling like this.
We know you're an OKC fan.
I can understand what you're saying. I think I will put him and Joker in the Joker at 3rd tie for third and put Harden at 2.
Who wants to tie for a third though?
It's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard, man.
Come on, man.
It's hard, man.
Fred, what about you? So no love for Jokic.
I'm just asking. Like he said with the hype train, Jokic is not really getting the hype train like that.
I mean, the Nuggets are having the best season they've had in a long time. They are second seed in the West.
We slandered the Nuggets last time I was here too.
Yeah, I think they're a pretender. I still
think they're a pretender, but I didn't expect them to be the number 2. No, I'm not putting Jokic over P3.
2010 and 7 he's averaging right now. 2010 and 7 as a center.
I put Lillard over Jokic for MVP right now.
No, that's blasphemous right there.
I mean, I'm not mad. The Blazers are having a really nice season. Mind you, they are 4th place, I believe, right now.
They 4th place. The Nuggets is 2nd place, and I think Lillard's numbers are a little bit better, if I'm not mistaken.
I know he's averaging. I forgot what he's averaging, but it's in the mid-20s.
Yeah, it's like 20. It's like 24, 7, and 5 or something like that. I mean, his numbers are decent.
Kawhi. No love for Kawhi.
I think he kind of...
Is he top 5?
Too many low management.
I think him missing games kind of messed up his case.
Too many low management games?
Too many low management games.
Because he was there early in the season.
He's averaging 27 and 7. Yeah. MVP-like numbers.
So now you're saying top 5 now?
No, I'm just asking, does he crack your top 3? That's definitely no.
No, you don't crack my top.
Because of game miss or because of how he's performed this season?
I think because, the lack of games.
For me, it's...
messed up his case.
Okay.
For me,
has he been playing MVP caliber?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of guys that's been playing MVP caliber.
That's all I'm asking.
It's like, you can really make MVP right now a 5-man race, and I wouldn't really be mad. If you say it's 5 guys legitimately contending for MVP right now, I'm like... Yeah.
Okay.
But the only reason that people are saying top 3 is because we in March. So the season about to end, so you got to start narrowing it down.
So to ask this question to finish this out, who you think is going to win MVP? Fred, I'm going to start with you.
I think Giannis going to win it.
Okay. Damo, you.
I'm going with Guinness.
I'm going with James Harden, man. I think he's going to get it this year. It's a good narrative for him this year, especially if we get up to that 2nd or 3rd seed. I mean, we already in the 3rd.
Rockets going to get that home court?
Listen. Talk about it. Talk about it, please. Talk about it. But, fellas, do you notice who we did not even talk about in the MVP race right now? We didn't even mention this guy. For the first time, I feel like in the last 10 years or so.
Oh, you talking about that guy?
That guy. LeBron James. Raymond. Shout out to John. Raymond, right? Raymond the Op, as he called him. We have not even mentioned him in the MVP race this year, which is rather peculiar.
Low management, man.
Space Jam 2 is coming out, fellas. La Hollywood is in effect.
The Shop coming out, Space Jam 2. What's the animated movie he just came out with?
He had an animated movie?
Yeah, the animated movie that just came out during the season.
Boy, if you don't get it's just too much right now.
La Hollywood.
And we call this LeFail.
You can find him somewhere on Rodeo.
Yeah, he in sex.
Chilling right now. But the Lakers have had a very tumultuous season, a very up and down season, a very media scrutinized season, a very in the public, in the spotlight kind of season, and a very topsy-turvy kind of season for the LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, the young guns on the team. And it's been kind of crazy. We got Lonzo recently. We had Lonzo being shut down, supposedly, allegedly shut down with the grade 3 ankle sprain he suffered in January.
Ingram got blood clots.
In his shoulder, injuries. Shut down for the season. You got LeBron James right now on a minutes restriction going on for the rest of the season. The Lakers right now, Fred, Damo, they waving a white flag. They are. And they lost 5 straight. 7.5 games back of the number 8th seed in the West. The number 8th seed in the West. 8th seed in the West. 3-10 since LeBron James came back from his groin injury, a.k.a. his extra PTO days that he took off. The Lakers were 20-14 at the time he went down at Christmas time against the Warriors that game. They were 4th seed in the West. Currently, they're 30-35, 5 games under 500. And execs are coming out recently. They're saying LeBron James has been throwing all his teammates under the bus. And it's been a crazy season right now. So I'm going to start off with you, Damo, with this. On a scale of 1 through 5, because we all know this was a very disappointing season. On a scale of 1 through 5, how disappointing do you feel this season was for the Lakers franchise as a whole? And then also, who's the most to blame in this season? Birdman rubs his hands.
Rubs hands like Birdman.
Now I'm gonna start with you, brother.
Listen, man, it's what I've been saying from the get-go, man.
Very critical of LeBron, you have been.
Me personally, I'm not surprised. I feel like I was the only one saying from the get-go that the Lakers was not going to make the playoffs.
You were you did say it on the first episode of this show of this season. You said the Lakers would not make the playoffs, and I called you crazy.
Everybody was gunning for my head. Everybody was thinking I was crazy. Listen, I'm used to this guy. I'm used to the theatrics of this guy. You know, he's gonna wanna take days off. You know, that groin injury took him out for how much game? You can't miss games like that out there in the West. He knows
that. You don't think he was legitimately hurt?
I think he was legitimately hurt, but come on now.
That's 17 games hurt.
Kobe
18, I think.
Kobe shot free throws on a broken Achilles. Come on now. But groin, you gonna miss that much games out there in the West?
I mean, he was trying to get restored.
You can't even make excuses anymore because you guys are finally... Y'all woke now. Y'all woke. I've been woke on this guy, okay?
How disappointed was the season now?
I think for Laker Nation, for them, because me, I'm not disappointed at all. I just seen this coming. I think for them, they're very disappointed. I'll give it a 1 for them.
Wait, 1 being the lowest point of disappointment.
Oh, well, 5.
So 5.
Yeah,
okay.
5.
Okay.
It's very disappointing because, a lot of people thought they was going to, be able to challenge. I don't know what roster they saw. That they thought they was going to be able to challenge the Warriors, let alone the Houston Rockets, your boys.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And, it's as I always said, man, when Bron made the move, he was there for, he wasn't there for the chips. He's there for the glitz.
Ooh.
I like that.
LeBron is there for the glitz.
But in all respect, LeBron, he's putting up for the games that he has been present. He's been putting up great numbers. I think it's 27, 8,
27, 8, and 8. I think he's average 27, 7 and 7 or 28, 8 and 8, something like
almost in triple double, territory, right?
Typical LeBron numbers.
Typical LeBron numbers. So, aside from the theatrics that I'm already used to, which is why I feel like he's not going to be doing damage out there, that he's used to doing in the East because of the theatrics. The social media antics and all that stuff. He want to make an album with 2 Chainz and all this.
Come on, man.
Rapper go to the league.
Aside from that, he's been putting up good numbers. I would say you got to put the blame on Magic and Pelinka.
Ooh, okay.
Because what were you guys think? Me personally, I know what I'm getting into with LeBron. I know what's gonna come with that.
So you saying they weren't aware of the quote unquote theatrics of LeBron as you call it?
I don't think so. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they just
maybe they brushed it up. Maybe Magic brushed it off the side.
Maybe they thought that being that we bring LeBron here is just gonna channel. We're gonna make another super squad just because LeBron has set the trend for that. And but what. When you build a team, when you got LeBron and then you bring in Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee, Rondo.
So your issue is basically, if I can sum this up, roster construction.
Yeah.
By Magic and Pelinka. That's your main number one issue with the Lakers.
That one, yeah. And I think they just maybe they didn't understand what they was getting into, because. Me personally, if I'm the GM, I got a nice young core. I got Lonzo, I got Kuzma, I got Ingram. And then you got this big free agency class that's coming next summer.
2019.
Why I need LeBron for? He's getting older.
So you don't
why
think
do I need him?
LeBron. We're going to come back to you on that.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
I hear you. Don't worry. We're going to get
I feel
right
like
back
they
there.
messed up their chances getting another star. Because now if they don't get another star, then what? You're stuck with LeBron. LeBron can't do it by himself out there in the West.
That's something I never thought I'd hear. You stuck with LeBron, but that's what it's come down to.
LeBron, listen, the history shows he needs another star.
Hold on, Damo. Let's go to Fred because we gotta hit Fleas right now as the resident Lakers fan that I needed to have on here for this episode. As a Laker fan, and your heart is invested into this, not so as me and Damo. We're both from the outsider's perspective, and I'm gonna give mine soon. But from you, as a Lakers fan, he's been a Laker fan for a while. How disappointing was this season? And then who do you feel like is the most to blame for this disappointing season?
This is the most disappointed I've been about a season since probably like 2012 when we had Dwight. But to me, I feel like as crazy as it might sound, LeBron was the consolation prize for not getting Paul George. Paul George would have been the perfect fit with this young core. Because if you would have had Zoe, Ingram, Paul George, like this, it's so much stuff that went wrong.
Exactly.
There's so much stuff that went wrong with this season. Like, first of all, why would you trade Zubac for Mike Muscala?
Mid-season,
it's like you made a trade.
Because they were afraid to pay him, which was ridiculous, by the way.
Got rid of Julius Randle. Look at the season he's having. Brook Lopez. Look at the season he's having.
Why do you feel like this was the most disappointed since that season in particular?
Because the expectations. The expectations.
That's what I wanted to get to.
If you take the temperature of Lakers fans once we beat Golden State in Oracle 30 Christmas Day, it's like, well, we know we can match up with them now. So we're gonna put the straps on Steph, quote unquote.
He did do a decent job, though.
He did. First of all, Zoe lock up. Zoe lock up. It's like with LeBron, we at least matched up with them. It's like, all right, we could take them to 6 and see what happens from there. But then the groin injury happened. The injuries between Ingram, Zoe, LeBron.
You know what I saw? I'm glad you brought up injuries because I put down that the Lakers were 50. They only played how many games was that? 23 games healthy.
Yeah.
And they were 15-8 in those 23 games that they had like their entire roster basically. Right. So they had a lot of injuries to deal with. Of course, LeBron James had his famous I felt it pop groin injury. And then Zoe, then you had Zoe, who really did have a bad ankle sprain in that game against Houston. But
he rolled it pretty bad.
He did, but I'm a little annoyed with Zoe getting hurt every year. Now this is 2 years in a row he's been hurt, so I'm a little bit annoyed with that. But I can't really fault him because they were kind of like freak accident injuries. So maybe the knee before was a little bit of lack of conditioning, but the injury that he had this year with the ankle sprain, that was a little spur of the moment. So what I want to do is I wrote down a couple of blame things for this Lakers season. I want to tell me if y'all agree or disagree with this for the order of blame. So I had the injuries, number one, 15-8 when they were healthy. That's 23 games. Then it goes into what you alluded to, Damo, Magic and Rob Pelinka. I put that their bravado led to their roster construction.
The roster construction is like
so bad. You
why
brought
would
up
you
before.
sign Beasley?
They let Beasley was a waste of time. They let low key though. They let Brook Lopez go. He left for only $3 million to Milwaukee, and he wasn't the greatest last year because I'm on record of slandering Brook Lopez a little bit, but for this team, he would actually be a nice fit if they had a stretch big with this actual roster with LeBron James.
All the bigs they got now was clogging the lane. You got Brook Lopez out there in the wing shooting threes. That would have fit perfect.
JaVale was good to be in this season, but it's like, he showed his true colors after a while. It's like, once you start defending him, it's like,
he had a nice little fantasy road to the beginning of the season. They let Julius Randle go. So both of them together, right, made less than what KCP is making by himself. Which is crazy right there. Randall's giving you 21 and 9, but we know why KCP got that deal. That Rich Paul love. We know he got that mole contract. That was a mole contract.
You need to put that ankle bracelet back on. Man.
Exactly.
He's playing better with it on.
Exactly. Pelican Bay. But they, and also what I realized, the mistake that Magic and Pelinka made is that they had everyone playing on a 1-year deal.
Right.
How do you plan on optimizing and motivating your players that are playing on a 1-year deal? Rajon Rondo, they gave him, $9 million to play him on a 1-year deal. I mean, he's like fake motivated, Rondo. He don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, he's over there sitting in the crowd.
I mean, I always felt like the Rondo signing was a little sus. I saw it in the beginning, what they were trying to do.
Trying to create controversy.
You know,
They're trying to make Zoe play harder, but it's like, you don't do that, though.
It took away from him because of the personality that Rondo brings to the roster. It wasn't a good fit for Lonzo. You do have to allow Zoe to have the ball in his hand. Luke Walton came in, he was relegating him to baseline duties, and remember the plan earlier this year where they said was, LeBron, we wanted a lot of playmakers on this roster. We wanted guys here who can take LeBron James off of the ball.
Yeah, so he could play off ball.
Off ball, and we can turn him into attacking LeBron, right? So, Damo, when I was talking about this with Jarv early in the season, I said I thought I was going to be seeing attacking LeBron, like not Kobe-like, but a little bit more aggressive scoring LeBron this year with Zoe handling the rock. You had Stevenson, you had Rondo, guys who could handle the rock a little bit more. So why do you feel like we didn't see attacking LeBron this year as a whole?
Because it's what I've been saying. It's like LeBron is not gonna change for nobody at this point in time.
But he asked for his personnel.
Listen. Don't let him fool you guys. All right, this is.
Why are you so anti-LeBron right now?
I'm not being anti-LeBron. I'm just trying to get y'all to open your eyes, man. This move to LA was the home stretch move for him.
It's road to retirement.
So you think this is for him?
This is it. He's
not
gonna
playing with Bronny?
If he wants to, it's his world. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? But this was a home stretch move for him. He could go out there, being the mogul that he is. What better place to go to it than Hollywood?
Right.
And then you go on playing there for a franchise, which I think was the big mistake, is that you go into a franchise and actually even though you big in the NBA, that franchise is actually bigger than you.
Right.
So the Los Angeles brand as a whole.
I think this is the first time he's played for a franchise that's bigger than him.
Exactly. A storied franchise.
And it's like, you go in the Staples, you before you even get in the building, you see statues.
Yeah, exactly.
You get in the building, you see banners.
Past grades. People who have already reached the promised land before you got there.
And we talking about Hall of Famers like Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Worthy.
Exactly. And you can't be coming there trying to, be all social media friendly and all this thing. Because the fans, they're not going to go for that. You already see them chanting.
But Damo, to be real though, I mean, like you said before, this is nothing new from LeBron James. We've seen him being the social media quote unquote diva that he is right now. What I don't like about LeBron James is that he does. I want him to be a little bit more upset after a loss.
He's mad passive aggressive.
He's
in chill mode right now.
Yeah,
instead of playoff mode.
Chill
playoff mode.
He posted a picture of the artifice and everything. Like
I didn't like that when he came out and said playoff mode. I have to activate it.
I wasn't going for that.
Activate it.
Motivate your players to get like that.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I said it last episode when I had Jay Allen here. I've been very disappointed this year in the lack of leadership from LeBron James. Right. When I feel like this is the one year that we needed his leadership to shine and show the most because this is basically the youngest team he's ever had because we know before he always has veterans on the team. He was going to have one young gun on his team, Andrew Wiggins, and he traded him for Love real quick. The only young guy he's ever really fully played with is Kyrie Irving, and he wanted to leave him. So now we have young boys who embrace you in the beginning. They were like, they brought LeBron in as okay, this is a big brother of the team. He's going to show us the way. He's going to show us how to win. You get what I'm saying? And rather than, I feel like LeBron James doing that, I feel like he isolated himself from the team as a whole with just his mannerisms, his movements, how he played on the court. And I think, remember, all these young guys, they all have social media, so they all seeing the same things that we see on Twitter. Right. And we're not seeing the effort from the greatest in the world that is LeBron James, and we needed to see that.
Wait, hold on, you call him what?
Quote unquote the greatest in the world. This remains to be seen right now. He hasn't been playing like it, but he has the biggest cachet of all the NBA players. So it's just an aura that LeBron James brings.
It's been a lot of this is y'all mess. Exactly. This is y'all mess. This don't have nothing to do with me.
I don't feel like LeBron James is taking ownership for him not making the playoffs this year. That's a problem.
Exactly. That's been my problem. He never takes responsibility for anything, and he always mentally checks out. And I think with that groin injury, I believe he could have came back. He could have came back sooner. But I think, you seen it throughout the season. You know, he been yelling at the other players, getting at them, throwing subs kind of before the injury happened. So I think with the injury was like a scapegoat. I believe he could have came back earlier, sooner than that. But he was like, he's seen the direction the season was going. And he was like, you know what? Let me just use that as a scapegoat, come back, playoff mode activated.
But see, to me...
Hold on, I'm sorry. And I think... when Kuzma actually pushed him on defense, did y'all see that?
You think there was something to that?
I think that was a subliminal move for those young players. You know what? We tired of you, LeBron. We tired of you. I think the league is catching up. They tired of LeBron holding the narrative to the franchise. This is not a LeBron versus the Knicks or whatever other team. This is the Lakers as a squad.
Right.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
And remember, that squad was tight before he got there.
Yeah,
they were very tight. They were very close.
I think they're emotionally tired of him, and you can even see it when the trade talks happen. Lonzo, I don't want to go to Pelicans. I want to go to the Suns. I'm not gonna let LeBron.
I do
dictate.
think that the AD trade real quick. That's where I also think that they messed up, and I wouldn't say that's partly LeBron and also just LeBron's camp as a whole. Rich Paul, they were very demonstrative and they were very public with the trade demand of AD, and it was very strategic in how they did it. They did it, 10 days before the deadline to try
8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning to try to force his hand in LA, and I hated how they handled that in particular. Then all of a sudden, we know AD comes on the shop. LeBron is basically looking at him like, I'm your mentor, kind of. That's how I felt like LeBron was talking to him.
Yeah, the glitter in his eye.
Yeah, like, you my young boy, basically. You're the new guy that I want to bring up. And Jarv made a good point before. He said that when LeBron has basically identified Anthony Davis as his Chris Bosh 2.0.
Yeah.
As the big that he wants to suppress. So I think that was a very elaborate way of looking at it. And I feel like the trade the trade demands and the trade rumors as a whole, I think they mentally affected the young boys a little bit.
Definitely.
But at the end of the day, though, they all got to be professional at the end of the day. They can't really let that shit really bother you that much.
Hold on. But put yourself in their shoes. They still chasing the bag. They on rookie contracts.
True.
And then you got this guy coming over here dictating your career?
I mean...
Because in retrospect, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, they have bright futures in the NBA.
Of course.
So you just going empty out the bench for one player?
So do you feel like LeBron James, Fred, you feel like LeBron James was like trying to dictate their career of how it would go?
Behind the scenes.
Clearly. I think anytime you sit here demand, like, LeBron is smarter than that. Like when he said he would love to play with Anthony Davis, like, come on, bro. Yeah. You gotta be smarter than that to say that in front of a room full of tape recorders. Where it's gonna make it to Bleacher Report and all these other mainstream platforms that you said that. Like
he knows how to work it.
Again, you knew it was gonna get out. So you think Kuzma, Ingram, Lonzo, LeVar, like all
the boys is taking it like, oh, so what? We scrubs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do feel like they thought that. Like you trying to say you can't
play with
us. But I mean, to be fair though, could he win with them?
I
believe he could do some damage if you get like some shooters.
So when LeBron James was out, why couldn't the team still win when he wasn't there
I think they was going through the
okay, fair.
What's the word that Doc Rivers likes to say when they going through trials and tribulations?
Adversity.
Okay. I think the young boys was going through a mental adversity at the time, with that whole post.
Oh, a trauma, some mental trauma.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you sitting there making these trade demands when you injured. He wasn't even playing. He was
isn't LeBron making these trade demands? I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate here.
But behind the scenes, he's pulling strings.
It's LeBron and Rich Paul. We all know this.
He's pulling strings. He's in there shipping his champagne, in the studio with 2 Chainz, telling like, yo, Magic, I need these guys out here.
I don't think LeBron James went in there and said, yo, get rid of all of the young boys for AD. I think he told Magic, listen, I need you to try to get AD, but whatever they ask for,
give it to him,
but run it by me just in case. You get what I'm saying? Like, if they're asking for everybody, you get what I'm saying? Let me see how the young boys are playing when I'm out, and let me maybe choose one to keep, 1 or 2 maybe to keep. But if I can't keep them,
so that was a low management game.
A couple of those.
Let me see if they could do a Golden State without me.
A couple of those were low. That Golden State game was definitely a low management game. And since we're on the subject of LeBron, there's been a lot of opinions and things like that from news reporters, analysts, Twitter, guys on Twitter.
Jeff Van
Gundy talking about trade LeBron. I've been hearing a lot. And I find that rather interesting. But let's hear the clip about Jeff Van Gundy of what he said about trading LeBron.
And look, I think in the offseason, they have to rebuild this roster, right? And to me, it could be a trade with, for an Anthony Davis, or I think they need to explore trading LeBron for getting as much as they can.
What are you doing? Seriously. No, seriously, what are you doing?
No, you got to get on the right timeline. If I could trade him for the Clippers into cap space, which would give me a better chance to get Durant or Kawhi Leonard, would I not do that?
Okay, LeBron James is not getting traded. Okay?
You got to put everything on the table.
No, you can't.
All I hear from the players now is it's business. Everything is business. Well, if it's business, then I have to do what's best for my business. I'm not saying you definitely trade him. I'm saying everything's on the table to get this team better.
Completely agree.
Ooh,
Mark Jackson's on the clutch, right?
He could be. So Damo, I'm gonna start with you really quick. So do you think those rumblings are justified to trade LeBron?
I agree with it. And the crazy thing is, Jeff Van Gundy beat me. No, he didn't beat me to it. Well, publicly he beat me to it. Because I actually called it. I called into the voicemail. I actually forgot to say that. I was gonna actually say that that I think the Lakers should trade LeBron.
Spicy.
We all know that's not gonna happen. But
you think they should consider it?
They should. Why not? LeBron. It's not like this is a young LeBron. Yeah, the numbers are still good, but a groin injury kept you out for 14 games. Lord, 18 games. God forbid he gets anything else. He pulls a muscle or something. How many games you gonna miss? You cannot miss games in the West.
That is true.
So my thing is, you didn't get AD. If you even get AD in a trade, you're gonna clear the bench. As we already know, they're willing to put everybody
for the farm.
They're gonna clear the bench for AD. You get LeBron and AD. God forbid LeBron goes down. AD already can't carry the Pelicans. Who you gonna surround the team with? We already seen how they surround LeBron.
So your resolution, so you think they're justified in saying trade LeBron? Yes or no?
Yeah. I would say trade him.
Fred, I'm gonna go to you, my brother. Do you think these rumblings, these trade LeBron rumblings are justified? I need to hear Laker Nation. I need to hear what you're saying.
I don't think it's as crazy as it seems. Because you say LeBron is 34, right?
34.
Gonna be 30,
16th
35
year,
next
15th
year.
year?
So you're telling me if the Pelicans were to offer, what was it? Anthony Davis, 24, 24?
Anthony Davis?
24, I think.
20.
That young?
Yeah, he's young. Still young.
Ooh,
so you telling me if they offer me a 24-year-old Anthony Davis for LeBron straight up, and I could keep
for LeBron?
For LeBron straight up, and I can keep my young core.
Oh, I like that. I didn't even think about that.
And I can keep my young core.
Oh.
Or if they I say it depends.
You know that's not gonna.
It's not gonna happen. But like you telling me, if the Bucks was to say, "Yo, we give you freak for LeBron straight up,"
I think that's a win-win.
Who gonna say no?
LeBron has a hand in these kind of things.
That's why it's not gonna happen.
He's a player. He's a player at the end of the day.
I think I think that would be a great opportunity for management to take back, the handle instead of play. Because you see, the players are full control now.
Ooh, listen, I gotta reel you to it. Hold on.
I'm not saying like LeBron is like, we know what LeBron can do, but you telling me long term, if I could have 10 years of Anthony Davis with my young core, and then LeBron at 34, like what? How many prime years you think LeBron got left?
Laker Nation is exposing Bron.
How
many prime years of LeBron? I was prime.
Like, maybe
one
25, 5 and 5. How many years LeBron got left to put up those?
I think he could do 25, 5 and 5 for the next 3 years. To be honest,
right?
25, 5 and 5. But
is it effective though?
But next year he can get 26, 6 is 7,
Right.
something like that. You get what I'm saying? Then the next year he'll probably be 25, 5 and 5. He's got 3 years left. He had 1 already.
Right.
So he's got 3 years left.
Right.
Checked out.
So then now imagine if I insert Anthony Davis in that Lakers lineup. And then I got Zoe throwing oops. Ingram before he went out was
I hear
hooping.
you. I hear both of you guys, but first of all, I think you guys are getting a little disrespectful a little bit. With hold
I'm
on,
just saying
hold on.
if the opportunity presents itself.
I hear you. I know you Dominic has had it with Damo has had it with LeBron James. Fleazy's a little frustrated right now with LeBron. Hold on. But I think you guys are a little bit blasphemous when we're talking about trading LeBron James because, I mean, unless you're getting a blockbuster steal deal, but I mean, I don't even know if you can get as much in return for LeBron because LeBron is a little bit more than a player, as we know that. And I feel like the reason why LeBron James came there, as you alluded to before, it's a business decision.
Right.
Why he came there. So Magic Johnson is a businessman, and the business of the Los Angeles Lakers is to keep them relevant right now. So even though the Lakers right now are not even in the playoffs, we still talking about them right now. Media outlets are still talking about them right now. So LeBron James still does bring revenue, even though you said before the Lakers are still bigger than LeBron James, the player. But I feel like it's a little bit blasphemous to consider trading LeBron James. I feel like you got to give him this summer to bring somebody here.
That's saying you don't trade him now. I'm not saying trade him now. I'm just saying
you can't trade him mid-season, so it's got to be in the summertime.
I'm saying if the right trade came, I'd listen.
I don't think there is a right trade. There's no way possible there could be a right trade.
If you're a GM and somebody offers you Anthony Davis straight up
for LeBron James,
I'm
still not taking that because Anthony Davis can't lead a team right now. I'm not taking him. I need Anthony Davis with LeBron to make a championship contender.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Damo.
You got LeBron James right now, right? We all see that's not working. Who's to say anybody wants to come there and play with this guy?
Well, I'm saying to give him this summer to prove that he can bring a star here, right? I don't want to hear people talking about it's toxic over there. If no one comes there, then it's proven that it can be a little bit toxic, I guess.
Because now but now if you wait for this summer, worst case scenario, you end up with a Jimmy Butler. Is that going to put you over the?
That's terrible. If they end up with
is that going to put you over the hump? I mean, let's be serious. And then that's another year Laker Nations gets to suffer.
Well, that would be a problem. If Magic does that, that's a problem.
And then you got AD that goes into free agency. Who's to say he's going to want to go to LA at that point in time?
Supposed to go to Boston.
You understand what I'm saying? So now that 4 glorious years that, that there was hope turns into reality.
Remember when he got here, he did say it was a project, and he did say it's going to be a quote-unquote process. I'm still disappointed in him for not at least making the 8th seed. I feel like the Lakers have more talent than the Clippers right now. And from top to bottom, they should be in the 8th seed. I understand injuries, but 18 games, you should still be relatively in the playoff hunt in 18 games. To me, I feel like there was just a lack of effort, and that to me goes back to leadership. So
a process requires work.
It does. And LeBron didn't put in the work. I definitely saw a different LeBron James this year, which I'm a little upset about. So
Le chillin'.
He
got the bag and he's in LA.
But you know what's crazy? So let's talk about this really quick, right? So the young core, the Laker young core that is right now. So I wanted to talk about if we feel like they've gotten better under the tutelage of LeBron James this season, because I feel like this has been a heavy debate and a heavy topic. You've been saying that Damo, that you would bring AD in with the young core. You think that's a solid squad. I think, Fred, you agreed with that also. You think it would be good with the core, other than LeBron James is the focal point with the young core. But he had Ingram averaging 18 and 5 this year. Kuzma averaged 18 and 5 this year. Zoe had a up and down season, I would say.
Kuzma and Ingram both averaging better numbers than Tatum.
Better numbers than Tatum. I know, Fred, you always got an argument on Twitter about Tatum versus Ingram.
I just keep bringing it back,
You keep bringing it back. And the Lakers
I still think Tatum will have a better career, by the way.
Over Ingram?
over both of them guys, Kuzma and Ingram. I think he's going to be an actual superstar.
That'll be interesting to watch. I mean, I got to see how the roster
took a step back this year.
If you don't have the opportunity,
there's a lot of things going on over there.
Yeah, Boston about just as controversial as LA right now.
He definitely. So since Zoe went down, since Zoe went down, January 19th, they've been 5-13 since Zoe went down, right? So I feel like that proves to me a little bit that he's such an integral piece of the team. He allows LeBron to play slightly off the ball, even though LeBron doesn't want to play off the ball, and he doesn't do it, which annoys me. And so, Fred, I'm gonna start with you. Do you feel like any of the Lakers' young core has gotten better under LeBron James this year? With playing with LeBron James.
It's not. They have, but it's not because of LeBron James. I think Ingram's last 5 games is like, no one looked at it because they were already out of the playoff breach, but Ingram was balling before he got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
He had like 27, 25, 30, 32.
I think since the All-Star break, he's averaging, 27?
Yeah, it was something crazy. Like, he was balling. He had like 3 double-doubles. Kuzma was hooping. But I don't think that's not a testament to LeBron James. I think that's the league. That's the league.
This is like what, natural progression?
Yeah, that's natural progression. They just getting better because they getting up to speed. Like, you gotta remember, Zoe and Ingram they was one and dones.
Yes.
They came in the league at 19 years old.
Relatively young.
And the reason I feel personally Kuzma came in so good is because he played 4 years at Utah. So he was already prepared for it. He was seasoned. Like, he had been played D1 for 4 years. That's why he could play so well. So I think that's just part of the natural progression. But it's like, LeBron, like this narrative that he makes players better. I don't understand it. Like, what is this narrative that he make? Like, what player has he made better? Jamario Moon.
He made Come on, man. Jamario Moon.
Like, what players is he making better?
Booby Gibson.
I was just about to say that.
Mario Chalmers. Like, what? Who are these players? Like, he got what you call it in his son's front office, James Jones. Like,
Jones.
He got 3 rings right along with Braun. So I guess he made James Jones better. But like, this narrative that he makes, like, come on, like, what players does he make better? Like, not even a knock on LeBron, but it's like he don't make players better. Players just he makes them fit. I guess that would be a way to put it. But I don't think he necessarily makes players better. I think players just progress with the game. You gotta remember, these guys are young. They are. None of them have played 3 years in the league yet, so they're gonna naturally progress. But I don't think that's because of LeBron. It's not under LeBron's tutelage. Like,
Damo, what about you? Do you feel like any of these?
I agree. I agree with everything he just said. He just like, I'm just back here smiling. Like, I'm glad that people are finally starting to look through the BS.
Oh my Lord!
Laker Nation is exposing LeBron.
You see how I look at it is, I definitely don't feel like he made them any better under his quote-unquote tutelage or whatever it is they want to call it. I don't feel like they've gotten better. I feel like they're growing up a little bit faster, like mentally in the world of basketball, the professional business of basketball. I think that they're growing up a little bit faster, which will help them in the long run, because now that they've been through these scrutinized trade rumors or whatever you call it, they're a little bit they're going to be, I should say, a little bit mentally tougher to handle things like this. But basketball game-wise, I definitely don't think LeBron James has made them better as a whole, because I feel like he made them stagnant a little bit. I think he turned Kuz into like a spot-up shooter, aggressive catch-and-shoot player. Ingram, he basically is playing rec league ball, but that's more to do, I guess, we'll say, with Luke, but also because I feel like when B.I. gets the ball, he feels like, I got to do something with this. Because if I don't do something with this, I'm not going to be as good as a spot-up shooter, stand around the corner shooter, which is what's going to happen if LeBron James does have the ball in his hand. And if Zoe is in the half court, he's not getting it out to me, so I'm not running the floor. So in the half court, I'm basically a spot-up shooter with LeBron James dominating the ball, because we know he's not spotting up.
Right.
So I don't feel like they've progressed in their game, and I think Zoe hasn't progressed his game with LeBron James, which is a problem also, because I don't feel like either one of those young boys are demonstrative enough to take the ball out of LeBron James' hand. So that's why I feel like they don't progress.
I agree. I would say LeBron hasn't compromised their gameplay, because they can play. I feel like I just feel like he mentally compromised them. Mentally. Because, playing with LeBron, other players that were already mentally there, you know, that carry teams and, you know, put in the work, let's say for, you know, Kevin Love, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, these guys don't put in the work. So then now when LeBron comes over there and he tries to, you know, do his thing, they can, you know, go back. They can easily sit back and, you know, work around LeBron.
You saying because they've accomplished already?
Yeah.
Oh, because they're not as hungry.
These guys are still trying to find their way. They're trying to understand how to, you know, it's levels. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And
They're still trying to make their stamp on the
exactly.
league.
And LeBron, he ain't got the patience for that right now because it's a 4-year window. That's why he want AD. He wants somebody that's seasoned.
Well, he wants
well
to win
seasoned.
now. And I think he wants to take the pressure off himself a little bit.
Exactly.
As in, he doesn't want to be the primary go-to guy. I think he's okay with being a primary go-to guy, but doing all of the work. He wants somebody else to shoulder the scoring load, I would say.
Of course.
But that comes with trusting your team.
Exactly. I feel like the team was good other than the other players that Magic Johnson and Pelinka surrounded him with. The core guys that he had was good.
So you don't feel like LeBron trusted his teammates this year?
And I think it was really contradictory what he did because he came in saying that he knew it was going to be a slow grind, but he wanted to microwave everything. He was trying to compete now. So it's
that's a good point.
It's like you can't. We all knew it was not going to be a microwave product. Like no one came in saying the Lakers was going to be the 2019 NBA champions.
Yeah.
Like no one, even me as a Laker fan, knowing we got LeBron.
Nobody said that.
No one thought that.
No.
Oh.
But this is what I'm saying. Don't let LeBron fool you.
Oh,
LeBron knew this. He knew this.
Come on, man.
Listen, LeBron, listen. Winning that one championship in Cleveland, I think that did it in for him. Yeah. So, you know, he's going to come to LA. He's not
here for the glitz. I mean,
he's not here for the chips. He's here for the glitz.
All right? Here for the glitz, not the chips.
Listen, it's a win-win for him in LA. He could come there now and say he got this win mentality, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, you're supposed to have that win mentality.
Right.
Or are you going
to
stick around and go through it? You know what I'm saying? So I felt like, you know, the move to LA was, okay, I go there, I could chill, but it could also work out. It could work out if they get Anthony Davis, but if they don't get Anthony Davis.
So that goes into now to, we're wrapping up this Laker debacle, this LeFail season.
La Chili Chill.
Because I don't want to make La PTO. I don't want to.
You better chill before you get a lawsuit.
La sabbatical.
I'm chilling.
He's chilling. He on Venice.
You know, but I don't want to turn this into a LeBron bash set because I don't feel like we were bashing him at all. I just feel like we were being realistic with his views with him.
It was facts.
And I'm not really bashing LeBron though. That's the crazy thing. I think to me who's at fault here is really Magic Johnson and Pelinka
for the roster construction.
And then definitely nobody in the league already don't like Pelinka. They don't like the route
that he took to become a general manager. That was the stuff that I was hearing. Yeah, I like the fact that he's
Kobe's agent.
Kobe's agent, yeah. A lot resentment.
Magic, Magic's history ain't all that good. You know, he was a head coach in the league. How that worked out?
It wasn't good.
You know, so this could be a disaster too. We don't know.
So I want to really quick talk about the future of the Los Angeles Lakers because to me this season is a wrap right now. They're not making the playoffs, which is very disappointing right now for the whole Laker franchise. Very disappointing in LeBron James that he couldn't even get you the 8th seed and at least get a electric playoff series with the Warriors or something like that, a 1A matchup. I'm very disappointed in that. But for the future of the Lakers franchise, because I feel like the future is too far right now for the Lakers, so I'll go with this summer is considered the future. I feel like the Lakers better get one of these free agents this summer. They gotta at least get one of these free agents.
I don't think they land a big star.
I think trade for Anthony Davis. You don't think they get anybody?
I don't think they get a big fish, quote unquote. Like I don't think they get KD.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to get if you're gonna get a star, right? What star do you think? Right now, if you put Kevin Durant in that offense, you think it works?
No. I don't like Kevin Durant. I don't like Kawhi Leonard.
I don't like Kawhi Leonard either because you have to get... You know what I really like for that squad? I really like Jamal Crawford for this squad.
I think
Crawford?
You mean off the bench?
Yeah, off the bench. He gives you scoring. He can run a second unit, and then he can play off ball.
But see, another thing that I think that even if they like you said, if they can't land a marquee free agent this summer, I feel like Magic can go the trade route, and I think you should go the trade route this summer because I don't know if a lot of free agents are going to be willing to deal with La Circus or whatever it is, going on. And we're going crazy with the LA today. But I feel like they should have traded for a guy like Bradley Beal. Like, I really like the fit of Bradley Beal on the Lakers because LeBron James needs a two-guard or a primary scorer. And I think Bradley Beal, along with Lonzo Ball, you keep Ball, of course. You might have to give up either Kuz or B.I., which I feel like you can give up one. Yeah, I give up one or the other. Whichever one the Wizards want, I'll give them for Bradley Beal with that roster. And I think you wait the next summer to get an Anthony Davis if he still wants to come. You never know. Shit happens already in 2 years. But I feel like Bradley Beal is somebody they should try to go after this summer because I feel like getting the free agents that are available, all of them are not really the greatest fit with LeBron if you really think about it. I don't like
the Kevin Durant fit with LeBron because they are both...
Or Kawhi.
They are both volume shooters.
I don't like it.
They're both volume shooters.
All the players that could, save the Lakers, they're pretty much in solid, situations right now. The one player I think could, help them transition into a better position in the future is actually Klay Thompson. I
don't think he's attainable though, man.
That's my thing. The players that they should have,
Golden State
they could end up staying there.
Bradley Beal's a light version.
But if you end up
not even light.
You know what I was talking about? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
If you end up getting somebody like Klay Thompson and maybe persuade Boogie Cousins to get there.
I think looking though.
I said that to Job. I don't like how LeVar Ball is running.
It's better than the squad they got now.
I don't like how he's brawling. I'm not liking that.
And I think it's better than the squad they will have now.
It's better.
But that's the only thing that would save them. They're not going to get Anthony Davis this summer.
See, I don't feel like you have to go that big of a spot. I feel like you could try to get
I think it's Anthony
Tobias
Davis
would be a nice pickup. Tobias and maybe a DeAndre Jordan, maybe something like that. And you fill it out with little pieces. You get what I'm saying? Pieces that fit because I feel like you still need to keep the ball in Lonzo's hand. All three of those boys are still in their rookie deal. So it's not like you can still have room for two max free agents. So they don't have to use two max free agents. You don't have to get two max players is how I look at it. You can get maybe one max player and you can use that other 35 mil to spread it out with complementary role players. Maybe like a JJ Redick, you know what I'm saying? Guys like that, 3-and-D wing, because there's a couple of dudes who's available. Maybe a Rudy Gay maybe to come off the bench or somebody
Rudy
like
got
that.
Some Draymond Green? No.
I think a Draymond Green would do good with LeBron.
For too much. He would ask for too much money.
I'm not giving him any max money.
Complementary role pieces.
But this is my thing, Just, right? What marquee player is gonna actually want to go there other than I think the only guy willing to go there is Anthony Davis, and then they're not gonna get him to another 2 years.
That's why I say you don't have to get two max free agents. You can get one max free agent or maybe a couple of great complementary role pieces or via trade. I feel like the Lakers are gonna have to do a trade this summer.
They're gonna have to do
personally,
something.
the way I see it playing out, I think Kyrie ends up in LA as much as I don't want him there. I feel like
I really hate that fit,
I do too. I hate it, but I feel like this apology tour he's on, this Taylor Swift thing he's doing, where he's just saying sorry, saying sorry to the media, sorry to LeBron.
Ridiculous.
I feel like this is all leading up to this narrative that everybody wants for him and LeBron to link back up in LA, and then. I mean, when you have
to get Cleveland 2.0, like why?
Because they beat Golden State, and that's what everybody's trying to do. Everybody's going to beat Golden State. That's the blueprint.
First of all, Golden State getting beat this year. If we keeping it, we keeping it up. Golden State getting beat this playoff race, but that's neither here nor there. You keep hating. It's not by your OKC Thunder. I'll tell you that. Now, by the way, I know you. Not to switch gears real quick. I know you tight about this Paul George news that he tore his rotated cuff. Yeah, if that's true, man. And if he has to get surgery on that shoulder, that's gonna be a problem.
But I mean, Kobe won a ring on a torn rotated cuff.
That's a huge blow. That
Paul George didn't build like that.
He don't got that mama mentality?
He don't got that.
I mean, he only been doing this for one season now.
2 for 16 with Joe Ingles guarding you?
You know, it's crazy. Low key, though, I really think Paul George is going to have a nice playoff.
Yeah, I think so,
I'm not
too.
gonna lie.
He got to
Because
revive himself.
I feel like that's going to be the
got to for
4-5
last year.
matchup. That Portland, OKC, I think it's going to be that 4-5 matchup. And I'm telling you, that's going to be a hell of a 4-5 series. I really do.
I
really
like
do.
a lot of the matchups that's going to happen.
I think they take them out, though.
You think OKC? I would choose OKC in that match, even if they don't have home court. You say, well, you're an OKC boy. So
I'm not even being like, favoritism here. I think that they match
they're a
up
better team
with Portland against Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think they beat them 4. I give Portland maybe 2 games the most.
Nurkic going to get 8 by Adams.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Adams going to punish him.
I mean, they got Cantor coming off the bench too. They got a little bit more solid.
Yo, I ain't know Cantor
Riley
had post
Hood.
moves like that. I ain't know Cantor had post moves like that.
decent on
Cantor
offense,
is good. Defense, he's suspect, and I know
He can't move his feet. But that's,
I like him though.
Does OKC have the people to exploit him off the
And
dribble?
Adams
I don't
knows
know.
his-
Am I
knows his
bugging
play.
though? Or I feel like a lot of people's defense is suspect now.
Oh,
I don't
a
feel like defense is even really like a thing in the NBA anymore. Like,
That's
it's
true.
like,
Not as much. Even Draymond Green was supposed to be the quote unquote best defensive player in the league. He's getting cooked a lot.
yeah, I don't feel like defense like to say
Because
somebody.
the pace of game is faster now.
Yeah, it's
So-
just running. It's just running, and like you either gotta go for the block or just get back on quote unquote defense. Quote unquote defense.
That's
That is
true.
true.
That's true. That's gonna be a nice playoff series, and I'm telling you, man, the East and the West playoff race is gonna be real.
Yeah, East is gonna be crazy. Who y'all want to see in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
want
go.
to see Philly and the Bucks.
Oh,
Yeah, I do
I'm
too.
with you on that.
I
I'm
do
with
too.
Philly and the
I
Bucks.
don't want to see Toronto past the second round.
I don't want to see Kyle Lowry and any more than
Yo,
I
don't want to see Chubbs at all. son.
I love Kawhi, but they got to get rid of Kyle Lowry.
Because
out-
I think
fan out,
I think
boy.
on paper Philly has the best squad.
I think
on
they have the
paper.
best starting 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
Like I
think
said,
on
Boogie,
paper
he ain't it.
the best 5.
Told y'all was screaming Boogie to me, but I told you gonna put that boy in a grinder, put him in a pick and roll grinder, and it's a wrap for Boogie. Pick and roll. So yeah, fellas, we're gonna bring you boys back on, of course, for another playoffs episode and stuff like that. But you know what time it is,
Sir.
family. You know what it is.
Not a game. We talking about practice.
Crossover segment as usual. I'll be throwing out player comparisons from different eras. The fellas ask as GM, and they tell me who they would take out of the 2 in their prime if they were building a team. I got some solid ones for y'all here tonight. Some solid joints. First up, are you taking Damian Lillard right now or a prime Stevie franchise? Let me give you the career stats. D. Lillard, 23 points per game, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 43% from the floor, 4-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA first team, which I forgot about, Rookie of the Year. Stevie franchise, 18 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 42% from the floor, and only a 3-time All-Star for Stevie franchise. Fred Fleazy, I'm going to start with you, brother. Are you taking D. Lillard, Dame time, or are you taking their pride Stevie franchise? Who you got, brother? Both on the table.
I gotta take franchise.
Tell me why. Talk to me.
This is a prime example of numbers don't tell the whole story. Numbers don't tell the whole story. First of all, Stevie franchise was the first point guard that was like really like athletic like that I could really think back to. Like then it's like
Kevin Johnson.
Kevin Johnson.
Oh yeah, I forgot about my son
Yes.
KJ. I forgot about my
Yes.
son KJ. Yeah. But he was one of the first, and it's like Lillard. It's just I have to look at like his body of work, even though they both played in the West, but it's like I just gotta think back to last
D. Lillard
year.
averaging more. He's averaging 23 for his career.
I gotta think about last year's playoffs though.
See, hold on. He's already had more All-Star appearances in his franchise. He made an All-NBA first team.
The accolades
Just
are
asking.
nice. The accolades are nice.
Just asking.
The accolades are nice. But I think I still gotta take franchise. First of all, I think franchise was a better playmaker. I think franchise was a better playmaker.
Okay.
I say Damian Lillard's the better scorer. But I think just in terms of like excitement and everything, like seeing franchise put guys on posters, like Stevie franchise highlight tape is crazy.
Oh,
first
it's
of all,
definitely
like it was
crazy.
times like he took guys out the deep water and just like crossed them. cross them once, take him back out to the 3-point line, cross him again.
Franchise
like, just be playing with dudes like.
Definitely.
Like, I think I gotta take franchise on that one.
Damo, what about you? You got both on the table. Who you taking, brother?
Yeah, that's a nice one. I like that one.
Yeah,
that's a really good one. But I'm gonna go with Damian Lillard. Man. I'm gonna go with Damian Lillard off of the fact that I've seen. And I like Stevie Franchise, but to my memory, I don't really remember him doing much in the playoffs. If anything,
he's never had a real playoff run.
Exactly. I don't remember him if he even made the playoffs.
You got to consider the era he played in.
Twice.
You got to consider that.
I mean,
exactly. It's not like he had bad teams. You know, he was in Houston. He was in Orlando.
He was in Orlando when he got traded.
You know.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe he went to the Knicks.
Yeah,
Moochie Norris.
Well, that was the retirement hometown. You know, he went there to get a bag and retire.
In New York,
that was it.
Yeah, the world.
Once you go to New York, that's it. But you know, Damian Lillard, he's done more in the playoffs. You know, I feel like you could build a team better, more. You could build a team more around Damian Lillard than Stephen Franchise. Stephen Franchise is the guy you want in New York right now. You know, to fill the seats and put on a show. You know, he's going to get you oohs and ahs. You know, and I like his... he got a nice little post game, but I think Damian Lillard, you could build a better team and you could go somewhere with him. So I'm going to give it to Damian Lillard off that respect. Because I've seen him do... You know, he's hit clutch. He's clutch. He's hit clutch shots in the playoffs when it matters most. Aside from them getting swept last year. You know, when they had a squad, when it was him and LaMarcus Aldridge and all them boys, they was looking promising.
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
You know, so I'm going to give it to Damian Lillard. I'm going to go with him.
So it looks like I got to break this tie, fellas. A fool I'm taking to build my team. And can't lie to you, man. I'm going to go with Damian Lillard on this, man. I'm going with Lillard, and let me tell you why. Number one, 2 reasons. Number one, Damian Lillard, to me, is a better shooter as a point guard. And I'm going to give him the nod as a better scorer, even though they kind of wash each other out as far as scorers. But I feel like Damian Lillard scores in different ways. Yeah. So he scores more from beyond the arc. And that's what I'd rather my point guard be, a better shooter than a better slasher, than me in particular. Those two, they're both solid playmakers. They were never really the greatest pure point guard. They were never the greatest orchestrators, either one of them. They were both flashy in their own right. But to me, which is a deciding factor for me personally, in my opinion, why I'm going to go with D. Lillard is because of his maturity. And I feel like Damian Lillard is a better leader to me than Stevie Franchise. Only because
Stevie Franchise did have off-court issues.
Remember.
The World Star video.
Yeah, not only that, but remember he did cry when he got traded from Houston Rockets. He was very pissed off about that when he got traded to Orlando at that time. He was tight. It was in the whole T-Mac deal when he got traded for T-Mac. That's how he got to Houston. And Damian Lillard, to me, even though he's had a stale roster that he's had right now in Portland, because that roster's the same for about 5 years right now, and I'm a little sick of it.
They still sneak in there.
They still sneak in there. They're always somehow a top 5, top 6 seed or something like that.
They've been top 4 for the last couple seasons.
They are day-old bread, but I don't feel like it's because of Damian Lillard. I blame that more on the front office and management construction. No, I actually like Terry Stotts. I think he's a solid
because of the coach.
He's a good coach. But I feel like Damian Lillard, to me, why I like him is because he hasn't complained really about his roster. Think about it. He hasn't really said anything about his roster, even though it's there.
Anything like that.
He's
I gotta give him some love for that.
He's loyal.
He's a loyal dude, so I gotta give him a little bit of love. But only for me personally, if I'm building a team, I love Stevie Franchise. That's one of my dudes, man. But I'm gonna take Damian Lillard on the way that I know I could deal with him. I can fit a lot of players around him without dealing with all the extraness right now. So slightly, I'm gonna go with Damian Lillard. So next up, Damo, I'm gonna start with you here. Are you taking a prime Amari Stoudemire or a prime Larry Johnson, grandmama? Let me give you the career stats.
That's a tough one.
Amari, very similar, which is weird. Amari Stoudemire, 18 points per game, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 53% from the floor, 6-time All-Star, 1-time Rookie of the Year. Grandmama, Larry Johnson, 16 points per game, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 48% from the floor, only a 2-time All-Star, and Rookie of the Year. So, Damo, you starting the squad, you taking prime Amari, or you taking Larry Johnson?
That's another. Yeah, this is a good one. Man, they both had injuries too that killed them.
You taking
fire extinguisher?
Man. I'm gonna go with man-child, man.
You got tell me why.
I can't even argue why, because they both they both was good. You know, I think I'm.
It's all a matter.
They play the same position.
I'm just going with man-child. I'm going with man-child just off the simple fact that I just like his game more than Larry Johnson. And he's taller. And no nod on Larry Johnson. They both literally like the same player. But I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna go with Amare.
Amare, the Israelite. Fred, please, who you got, brother? Who you taking?
I'm gonna take Larry Johnson. I'm gonna take Larry Johnson because he's a better shooter than Amari. I think
is he though?
That 4-point play.
He is. He is.
I think he's a better shooter.
Had a nice little mid-range.
He
game.
did, but I think LJ could step out a little bit further than Amari.
He shot the three when he was in New York.
He shot the three in New York. I think that and they when you look at the two players, it's basically the same player except LJ had a little bit of better three-pointer. Like they both had post game. They both could get to the rim. They both could throw down a post on you. So. But I'm going to have to take LJ based on the fact that he's a slightly better shooter than Amari.
So I guess I got to break another tie.
And he didn't play with Steve Nash.
I got to break another one. I'm going with LJ here, fellas. Listen, I'm going to tell you, both of the games are very similar. I'm going to be honest with you. I was never the biggest Amari Stoudemire fan. Man-child, as you call him. I was never the big, because I'm not going to lie, I feel like Steve Nash kind of excelled his career a lot more because I think he was a solid player. But remember, when he went to New York,
he was an MVP candidate.
In the first half of the season with Raymond Felton, he was playing I think he averaged 20 and 9 or something like that, which was
first Chubbs.
Which is the first Chubbs. Which it was solid with those two. But I gotta go with Larry Johnson, man. I think he was a little bit more complete player, even though Amari had better numbers than Larry Johnson.
But was LJ ever an MVP candidate though? That could help Amari in that case too.
I mean, that's a fair point. I don't think LJ, but
he wasn't an MVP candidate. But April, May.
Yeah, was Amari really an MVP candidate? Come on,
he was.
Remember that was the year.
That was the year before they got Melo.
Melo came that year, mid-season.
The beginning of the season, he was an MVP candidate. Then when Melo came,
that was it.
It was all over. Then he started to get hurt.
Then he punched the fire extinguisher.
Then he punched the fire extinguisher, all that nonsense. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Amari would be as good if he didn't have a Steve Nash next to him, and if it wasn't for that D'Antoni offense, which does inflate numbers for a lot of regular players. I'm not saying Amari was regular. He definitely wasn't impactful power forward. But I'm not going to lie. I think Larry Johnson had a better skill set. I think he had more pizzazz than Amari Stoudemire. And I think you could actually build around him a little bit better than Amari Stoudemire if you didn't have the perfect point guard that D'Antoni had in Steve Nash.
He's putting up those numbers playing with the Goon Squad. He's playing with Camby and Spreewell. Charlie Wood.
Prime Larry Johnson was in Charlotte Hornets. It was Muggsy, Lonzo Mourning. He was still giving you 20 and 10 every night. That's when it was the height of him.
That Charlotte Hornets squad was height too.
That was a great Charlotte Hornets squad. So I feel like that one was you honestly can't go wrong with that one, to be honest.
You could go either one.
Yeah,
I just think that LJ got a slightly better 3-point shot, but that's why I would take him. But
I agree.
You can go either way with that. I'm not mad at Amari.
He can handle the ball. Damn, I didn't even think about that.
I forgot LJ could handle the rock
he
too.
Could set up. He could set up. I didn't even. Wow.
In those high mid posts, he was setting up.
I might even change my. That might even make me change my mind. I forgot all about that.
I forgot that too as well. Remember Remember LJ in the movie Eddie?
Yeah.
Remember in the movie Eddie?
I don't know why. The Family Matters too.
Yeah, I don't know why I just thought about that. That was interesting, but
that might sway me, Just. I forgot all about that.
Switching up to LJ?
I think I might have to go with LJ, man. Might have to have a trifecta right here.
I hear that. I'm not mad at that.
I like somebody that's versatile like that could do a lot of everything.
Okay. I hear that.
Amari wasn't setting up nobody. He was the one getting set up.
He just eating.
He was eating all day.
Nash is telling you, run that left wing.
Yes.
I'm gonna feed you.
Yes. I definitely agree.
Yeah, we got a trifecta here.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with LJ.
Okay. Yeah, man. So, fellas, we wrapping this up right here. Episode 87, the LeFail episode. I mean, we had a lot of loves this episode. It was interesting. And
I didn't even go ham on LeBron. I'll take it to eat. I'll let the Laker Nation do.
You said a lot about LeBron. You said I told y'all.
A lot that I've been saying though. I've been saying this for the last 5 years.
True indeed. And I assume there's gonna be a lot more LeBron James-esque conversations to come throughout the end of this year.
I just try to sit
please,
down.
man.
I got a question for you though, Justin.
Yeah, man.
Rockets gonna win it all this year?
Oh, you talk about it. I'm not playing.
No, he would love for that to happen.
If Rockets win it all, who going Finals MVP?
He want to give it to CP.
You know I want CP to get it, but I think they might give it to Harden off of GP. But you know what's crazy? In playoff series, CP steps up the most, and sometimes his numbers are a little bit better than James Harden.
So you might have to have. You might have to have Clippers CP3.
He could get it off the leadership aspect.
That's what I'm saying, because you know CP in that Warriors series, you know he was
your man Chubbs 2.0 Harden fan out boy.
Yeah,
he got to show me something.
He do. But last season, even though he didn't have the statement games, and I think that's what it was, because he still averaged 27 and 8 or something like that in the playoffs. But it wasn't those statement performances. Do you remember?
You know what it is? When Harden plays bad, it looks bad.
Yes,
because he shoots a lot. He shoots a lot of threes, so it looks worse than it actually is.
Agreed. 100%.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. It looks bad, and if he doesn't have a statement game, you don't really remember.
It's not like Kobe when he had bad games, they at least look pretty.
Yes, and if you remember, like last year in the playoffs, Chris Paul had way more statement games than LeBron James. Remember when they closed out the Jazz and Chris Paul dropped 40?
He dropped Curry 3 times in that series.
He dropped Curry 3 times.
Speaking of Kobe, isn't he next up in the milestone for points with LeBron?
Yes, he is.
How much is going to matter though?
I feel like Laker Nation is gonna give him a backhanded applause.
They're gonna be like,
they gave him a backhanded applause the last time.
That's what I'm saying.
First of all, the Lakers don't care about these stats, bro. Like, just look up, LeBron. Just look up and look at the banners. We don't care about these accolades. We don't care if you pass
about
Kareem.
The chips, not the glitz.
You bring us a ring. We gonna applaud you. We gonna applaud you when the confetti is really coming down from the ceiling for a reason.
Definitely, I agree. Man.
I'm surprised on the lowest of keys though. You didn't mention your boy hitting the milestone.
Who? CP3?
Yeah.
I mean, this ain't a Rockets episode. You know I got to See You in June episode coming soon. You know that. See you in June, baby. I don't play no games, but fellas, Fred, Fleazy, Damo, as always, I appreciate you brothers coming through, man. This was
my pleasure, man.
Definitely a great episode. Fleazy, you know you always welcome here. You got to come back, my brother.
Yeah, I got to come back for a playoff episode.
Oh,
even though my squad not going to be there, but I come chop it up with you.
But you know what's crazy? They tried.
They tried and they LeFail.
They gave it an attempt.
Talk about it. Perfect way to end that off. And fellas, that's episode 87 Above the Rim, and we out.